Hey yo, hey everybody! Holy cow, this never gets old to me. You guys are like here. That is so awesome. All right, I see Steven, Swig and Smoke. How you doing? Flip your meat. Eric Moreno, how are you? Torian, how are you, sir? Swig and Smoke. George, give me a second. Give me a second. Oh man. Tracy Carter, how are you this evening? Eric, sorry, I had some last minute things to get together. Alright, so I still have not received a clear shipment. I have not gotten clear yet. But what I did this past weekend, there's a farmer's market, and I apologize because this is backwards, but it says wood smoke spirits. Hopefully, if this will focus. Wood smoke spirits distilled from apples. So this is like an apple brandy almost. Okay. And what this is brewed by the Baltimore Whiskey Company. This is 100 proof. 100 proof, which is the same as what the clear I will be drinking on. So here is that. And then taking it old school this week, I just mixed this up because this jar had a top, so don't, and it was sitting out. So, this is just some red Kool-Aid. I needed something to cut this. My son said that this apple brandy, it was extra hand sanitizer-y. It was his exact words. Larry, how you doing this evening? Preston, Ronnie, goodness. Guys, how's everybody? Rob, how are you, sir? All right, Channon. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Channon. All right. So, what's everybody up to? How's everybody doing this evening? Let's see if the Kool-Aid help. Still rather potent. Woo. Goodness. Uh-oh. Just, let's see. Hopefully. Alright. Hopefully you can, I wasn't broadcasting through my headphones there. And I'm actually, do I sound better now? Any worse? Better? Worse? Different? Alright. So there are 23 of you guys on the live stream so far. If you have not, please hit that thumbs up for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. It not only helps me out feeling better about myself, boost my self-esteem, but it helps these videos go a long way. So, I haven't seen Tom on the live stream yet. Tom, you on the live stream? I've been waiting for you to be on the live stream so I can shout you out, but I wanted to thank Tom. Tom is the gentleman who won the smoker. All right. Yeah, George, you pretty much, you probably right. It is Mad Dog. Well, Mad Dog 50/50. Man. Ooh, that's good. But I wanted to talk about Tom. Tom was the first person to actually send me something to the P.O. Box. He sent something to the P.O. Box. If you haven't already seen it, I opened up a P.O. Box. There's been a couple of you guys. Right. Lou Calamadas, how you doing this evening, sir? But there's been a couple of you guys who have asked me to send me different things, or like, hey, I have a barbecue sauce I want you to try. Hey, I have a rub I want you to try. My alarm just kind of went off. It's catching up. But the whole thing is, a couple of you guys asked me about sending things, and I created a P.O. Box. If you haven't already seen, the P.O. Box is down in the description below. It is a P.O. Box 3236, and that's in Catonsville, Catonsville, Maryland 21228. It is 2 miles up the road. So the post office. All right. So T Crunk, how you doing this evening? So I wanted to talk to you guys about traveling with food, traveling with barbecue, and or shipping. I know I've done videos on shipping in the past, but I figured we could just have a Q&A. Like, if you guys had any questions about shipping or, you know, like traveling with food, you know, Jerry, how you doing? I figured I would ask you guys, or if you guys ask me questions about how I did it or what I do, then we could talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd greatly appreciate it. Joe, how you doing? Coffee rub and oyster sauce on ribs. Gloria, all right. What's up, Doc? Dr. Ramirez. What's in the glass? I have some of this. This is a 100 proof spirit. It's distilled from apple, so it's more like kind of like an apple brandy. And then I mixed up some red Kool-Aid just because I didn't feel like going upstairs and getting some cranberry juice. ¿Qué te pasa? Nada que pasó. ¿Qué te pasa contigo? Alright, so first question about shipping is Swig and Smoke says, how far can you ship frozen stuff? And what kind of box do you use? So I had a box over here from Porter and York, which was a pretty good example of what I used the last time I shipped something. Last time I shipped something was actually the one of you guys, John Greneau down in Florida. I used one of the Porter and York boxes that they sent me because they have a decent amount of insulation and packing. So what I did was I just reused the like the freezer packs and other things like that were inside of that box, and I sent everything. Now, yes, so Swing and Smoke says he saw those boxes in the video, and they were definitely like, so it was a thermal pack inside or on the outside, and then it was a box on the inside, and then on the outside of that box there were like cold packs. So it was definitely thoroughly packed. Now, whenever I've sent food in the past, and in the past I sent it via like medical cooler boxes. So I have a friend that his wife gets medical supplies, and they are refrigerated. So what he does is he saves them up for me, and he'll give me 2 or 3 of them every 6 months or so, however I need them. But basically what it is it looks like a styrofoam cooler, and what I would do is I put the food and dry ice inside of the styrofoam cooler, tape everything up, and then send it out. So I've shipped as far west as Colorado, and I think it got there in 2 days. Usually when you're shipping something like that, you'd use a priority mail type of shipping, and it got there. My friends that I sent the food to in Colorado, they told me the dry ice was gone, but the package, I'd sent them brisket, wings, ribs. I think that was it. Brisket, wings, and ribs. And they said that everything inside the box was still frozen. Alright, so Lou asked a question. When people pick up from you, do I slice? Do I add any au jus? He says he feels like once the meat is sliced, you're on a timer. What do I do? So when I slice up brisket, you guys see me slice up the brisket, and I've talked about the fat separator before. I do actually separate the au jus from the fat, and I give that to them. Come on, camera, phone. I give them to them to pour over top of, or to put into the pan, like the full catering pan or half catering pan, when they are warming everything up. So I do. I'm good, man. George Rushing, he says, what's the greatest distance that you travel with cooked food to an event? Alright, so here's a funny story. And I'm trying to gauge how long. I don't want to get too behind in the comments. So I traveled to an event, and it was about an hour away. I had the food, and I had it in a warmer, and when I got to the event, when I got to the event, it was an event, And what I usually did there at that particular place, and I'm trying to be vague on purpose, what I typically did was I got there after the county food inspector got there. This year, it just so happened the food inspector got there or was there, or excuse me, the person who was organizing it wanted me to be there earlier than necessary. So I was there while the food inspector was there. So the lady came out and she temps the food. Now this is the food that's going to the public basically, and she temps it at 135. Now the warmest pan was 135, the coldest pan was 125. So she says, well, why isn't this at 140? And I said, well, ma'am, I've traveled, I've been on the road for an hour. You know, some of these things were warmed probably 2 hours ago. I had them in this warmer, but you know, it takes some of the heat away when you put in, you know, food that is, or when you travel basically. She's like, okay, you know, cool. So she says, well, I'm not going to be able to let you serve this. And I'm like, yo, I got like 40 pounds of meat. What do you mean you're not going to let me serve this? She says, well, I'm going to have you take it back up to 165 to make sure everything is, you know, good, or you cannot serve it. I'm like, well, how do I get it to 165? So we found a microwave, and what I ended up having to do was I had 4 pans of, and I believe it might have been chicken. I had to pour the chicken into a microwavable bowl. Now I had to do half of the pan at a time. Warm it up in the microwave, stir it up and around until it got up to 165 degrees, put it back into the pan, and then I was able to serve that. So that was the longest distance I traveled with food and the worst outcome. And all it was is I had to take it back to 165. But when I say it was an ordeal, like a multiple hour ordeal, me telling you that in 30 seconds was nowhere near as stressful as it was. Alright, Baracho barbecue, I don't know, man. I'm pretty good. John Grenall was just talking about you, man. How are you doing this evening, sir? I was talking about the fact that I sent you food and reused a Porter and York box. Someone asked me, what do I ship in? Smoking Joe's Pit and Barbecue, how you doing this evening? Yeah, I can cook though, man. I can drink and I can cook. There are 2 things I can do. So I guess Larry has a question about reheating beef and chicken. He said he has his daughter's wedding and he wants to be able to enjoy it and not cooking the whole time. So Larry, if you haven't already, I think we've talked about this before because you know, you kind of an OG. You've been around for a while. Do you have any sort of warmers, like things, passive warmers to keep things warm? That's what's up. Yes, please smash that like button. Rich, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. Bangoso Broso, how you doing? Corcoran, Corcoran. Hopefully I said that right. Corcoran. Sunny G, how you doing? So usually 300 degrees is where I tell folks to warm food up at. Usually about, like I said, you know, I've said this in the past. Can you just walk through here like normal? Because you're making extra noise. This is number 2. Go. Do what you have to do. Come on.
Hi.
All right. Goodbye. Good night. It's after 9 o'clock. All right. So usually, yes. Bangoso Broso, she did give me the Mama Juana, and I have taken a shot or 2. I know it's not an inexhaustible supply, so I haven't, you know, drinking much of it. I've taken a shot maybe once, maybe twice. All right, so I usually, Lou, this is back to you. I usually tell people basically to warm the food back up at the same temperature pretty much that I would be cooking it at, which would be, or not cooking it at, but just to help it warm back up. So 300 degrees. You're not trying to cook the food anymore. You're just trying to warm it back up. Same, you know, thing like if you were doing something or put something in a microwave. You don't need to cook everything on hell all the time. Sometimes you need just like slightly less than hell. And that'll help not to dry things out, help to warm things up as opposed to cook things. So swig and smoke. There are some times when customers will definitely have to reheat food. I try as often as possible to give things fresh, but usually whenever I do, like, I don't slice up anything when it's piping hot. I try not to. So I try to let everything cool, like briskets, chicken, pork. I try to let it all cool, and I try to cook in advance so that I can build in that cooling time, the prep time, and then also reheating time, okay? Before I take anything out for a delivery, for an event. But there are certain times when I know that I'm like, okay, like when I did the biggest event that I did, that one for 300 plus people, I took the food cold because I knew I was going to have some time while I was there to set some other things up. Like I had to cook and prepare some sides while I was there. I cooked some string beans and some baked beans. So I had time while I was there. So they had a what's that thing called? The big oven warmer. They had one of those there. I can't it's escaping me, but it they had one there, and I actually had to turn it on and everything up. So if you have not already, the 46 of you guys here, please hit that thumbs up button for me. I greatly appreciate it. Yep. Hold on. I'll get the bottle. There it is. Yes, I have had some. Again, it is not, I have to refill it if I drink it all. So I'm kind of trying to cherish it, and I'm only taking sips on special occasions. Bongoso Grosso, what seemed like drama and a big headache? Oh, yes. I'm 3 minutes behind. I apologize. Dexter Jackson, how you doing this evening? Bongoso Broso, yep, man. I mean, for 5 degrees, she was like, no, we're gonna have. She was like, you cannot serve this. You gotta warm this whole thing back up. Hasty Bake Grills, never heard of it. Mr. Jimenez, never heard of it. Smoking Joe's, I'm a happy-go-lucky type dude. I get along with almost everybody. There are some people that rub me the wrong way, but for the most part, I'm chill peoples, man. John says I can ship him anything I want. Alright, so Lou, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but I'd never, ever, ever do anything about wrapping in a towel and put it into a cooler. We talked about this, and I think I talked about this slightly. When you take food out of your smoker, the temperature is still rising. You put it into a cooler, that cooler is going to do nothing but hold that temperature much higher. I want the food to get to the point where it is on the decline, so I want that food to sit out for a while at room temperature so that it starts to cool before I put it into any sort of warmer. But that's just me. Hasty makes it tasty. Oh boy. Mac boy, how you doing this evening, sir? Can't wait to hang out tomorrow. Yeah, buddy. Mac boy. So yeah, this weekend, the reason I'm talking about shipping and carrying food is because if you don't know, this is the second year I've actually kind of vlogged about it or talked about it in these videos. But I will be going down to Ocean City for the big there's a big car show or car event. It's not a show in Ocean City any longer. Super Johnny, Macboy, he'll be with me. Macboy is one of my buddies, one of my good friends, and we are going. So Luke Halamadas, if it's in the refrigerator, 300 degrees for probably 45 minutes to an hour. If you take the food out of the refrigerator and let it warm up slightly, it'll take 30 minutes to about 45 minutes for it to come up to temperature. All right. Smoking Joe's, I actually agree. The Cambro will lose 1 to 2 degrees every hour. And I've seen people say as high as 3 to 4 degrees every hour. But you know what? When you put something in there and it's like 150 plus degrees, and you have you know, and it stays in there for an hour, maybe two, losing, you know, even if it's 3 to 5 degrees an hour, it's not much. It's not bad. All right, Dustin. So the Priscilla project, thank you very much. He says he loves the videos. The Priscilla project was put on the back burner, and that's simply because, one, it was too cold, so the only videos I was showing was me actually cooking things. Two, I was having problems with the electricity in the garage. I wasn't able to actually weld anything. And three, I really lost, I won't say I lost interest in the project, but I had other pressing things to do, so it really took a back burner. Super Johnny. Nah. Super Johnny, he's that's my buddy right there. What's the minimum? Ship brisket, pulled pork. Preston, you know, make it worth my while, man. That's usually my go-to answer, because what happens is, I mean, I'm not going to ship a pound or two. You order 3 to 5 pounds of something each, and then, you know, most likely I'll be able to send it out to you. The problem with brisket and pulled pork is I can't cook anything less than probably 5 pounds, or like, you know, brisket, the smallest brisket I can get is maybe 9 to 10 pounds. The smallest pork shoulder I might be able to find nowadays might be in the 15-pound range. So you're looking at about, you know, 6 to 7 pounds of meat per unit, more or less. So there's your answer. Oh, Lou. I'm not taking a shot yet. So Joe's Barbecue, those are oil-filled tell-truths. And the whole thing is, from what I understand, the oil-filled tell-truth thermometers helps the thermometer stay to the temperature where it is, and it recovers faster. No, Jim, the money has not been raised for the beard shave. Hey, Borracho, que tengo buena noche. Yep, Lou, I've never understood why people do that. I mean, you hit your target temperature, and you want to take it to your target temperature, and then start cooling your brisket, not letting it sit in a cooler where it's going to continue to increase temperature. Swing and Smoke, there are no more SCA events in my area this year. Actually, there is one, and it's Saturday. It's in Western Pennsylvania, and I'm going to be in Ocean City, Maryland, so not going to be able to do it. Yes, Swing and Smoke, good luck. Good luck. Yes, Smoking Joe's, man, $50. That's what's up. I know I spent like $300 on mine. Beach and Barbecue. Beach and Barbecue is in the Delmarva Peninsula, which is obviously Delmarva Peninsula encompasses where Ocean City is, and I think he said he lives like just over in the Delaware, so probably like Fenwick Island or Fenwick. I actually have a buddy who's staying up in Fenwick, so when I'm up there, I'm telling you, I don't know your name, Beach and Barbecue. Text me so I have your number, and then I can hit you up when I am up in that area. So Eric Moreno, DC Cooks has actually been pretty busy. He you know, he has a day job, and his day job, he does some traveling from time to time. I did actually talk to him this week. I'm not at liberty to say what I talked to him about, but it was about a competition. Someone I know was asking if I would be in a competition, and this is a competition that's in Southern Virginia. I told him I was unavailable for the competition because I wasn't going to be in town, but I suggested DC Cooks because he lives not too far away. Juan Real Shah, he says Suge Knight. Oh, John says he's working on it, Jim. Mo K-Sign. I'll take Mo K-Sign before I take Suge Knight. Luke Alamadas is trying to get me to shave. So if you guys weren't here, it was like a week or 2 weeks ago. Someone said something about shaving, And basically they said that, oh, I think Lou challenged me to shave. And I said, man, I wouldn't shave anything less than $1,000. I said, you guys get up $1,000 and I will shave completely naked. Yes, Preston, H2O in Ocean City. I'm going down to Ocean City for H2O. You guys, and this is one of those things, and I actually thought about talking about hobbies outside of barbecue, or things that you do outside of barbecue, because some of you guys know I'm a big car guy, like big car guy. All right, Corey, I think maybe you have said that in no. John. All right, so Smoking Joe's. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up with these questions. Smoking Joe's, yo fui trabajando de una tienda de cerveza y vino. Muchas personas pensando yo fui dominicano, puertorriqueño. So, hablando conmigo en español. So, what I basically said was, I used to work at a beer and wine store, and a lot of people thought that I was Puerto Rican or from the Dominican Republic. The guy who owned the beer and wine store was actually Puerto Rican. So, because people thought I was Puerto Rican, they used to speak to me in Spanish, and I didn't. So, I learned a lot of Spanish while I worked there. But that's the nuts and the bolts of it, long story short. John Knapp, I have never smoked a brisket on the egg. I think it's a little too small. Only because I have, and this is another thing, because I have other means to smoke briskets and other things like that. The size of the briskets that I get, it just be a little too big. Now, if I were doing like a flat, maybe, but I get whole packers. So it's just easier for me to smoke them on one of my smokers. I mean, I have 5 smokers, not including the egg. I really like the egg for hot and fast. I prefer the egg for hot and fast. Because I have something else that does low and slow better, I prefer to use the egg for hot and fast. You also have not missed a demonstration on the kettle. That kettle I bought, I talked about it before. It did not come with hardware. I am still, after the second time I had to call Weber and have hardware sent out. I had to pay for a hardware kit. It has not been delivered yet. Last time I called was last Monday. Today is now Wednesday. They said 7 to 10 business days. I'm trying to be patient. All right. All right. So Corey says South Bethany. All right. So I just wanted to get a idea of where you are. John says my Spanish gets better with the clear. You might be right. Hey Lou. Lou, it doesn't matter who won the spread. It matters who got the W, okay? Who got the W? That's all I'm going to say. Alright, so I have never thought about putting a sterno inside of a Cambro, only because I just think that's a disaster waiting to happen. Oh yeah. Dustin, man, it is definitely hard. But I tell you what, at this point of the year, like it's just miserable working in my garage in the summer. It's so hot and so humid that, like, you guys saw me working on the brake booster. I sweat so much that it gets in your eyes. It drips on everything you're working on. It's just not conducive to getting things done. I'd rather put more clothes on and work in the cold than I would taking clothes off working in the heat. You can always put on more clothes to get warm. You can never take enough off to get cool. So expect me, hey, somebody dropped some, hey, who was that? But you can never take enough clothes off to get cool. You can always put on more to get warm. So expect more videos of me working in a garage. Yeah. No, Super Johnny, I really wanted today to get the van towed to the mechanic. It just wasn't in the cards. I was cooking all day today, and I didn't have time to be able to stop. Bomi Hunter 74 says, "What's the most briskets I've cooked for a catering job?" I cooked 10 briskets one time. When I cooked that event where I did for that 300 plus people, I did 10 briskets that time. Alright, Smoker Joe said he named his giant El Rey smoker Veronica. I like that. You tried the bear claws for shredding your meats. Dustin, they are a waste of money. I have upset. If you know what, Dustin, you look. Send me a DM on Instagram. Send me $10. You can have them. I'll send them to you. Really, I don't. I've used them a handful of times. They really are. To me, they're a gimmick, and I'll explain why. When I pull my pork by hand so that I can make sure that all of the fat and all of the connective tissue and all of the nastiness that doesn't give that good mouthfeel, I want to be able to pull all of that out. With the bear claws, you're just shredding everything, and like all of that extra fat is still in there, all of the extra connective tissue is still in there. Now again, when I have had an issue where I'm like behind the 8 ball and I have to hurry up and get something done, I've used those things to pull things apart, and it does make it easier to pull things apart. And like, you know how they showed the claws like picking something up. I've done that before too, but as far as using them on a every time I cook basis, nope, not at all. So Tim, there is no update on the van. I was able to jump the van from Debbie Diesel, which is my diesel Passat. I jumped the van and I put it back into its parking space. When the guy dropped it off, he left it pretty much at the top of the driveway. We were able to slide it down the driveway some, but it was still in the middle of the driveway, and I need to be able to get back and forth from the garages. So I was able to jump the van. I jumped it, and then I pretty much put it back into its parking spot. Just one and only. What would I have? John, what would I have as a one and only? I would have Bessie, only because Bessie, I can get Bessie up to 500 degrees, or I can get, Bessie down as low as 175, 200 degrees. I just know that smoker so very well. And actually, it's probably, it might even be a toss-up between Bessie and one of the steel drums, because I can get the temperature. You can, because it's a direct, like the ability to cook direct in those smokers is there. Like if I take a water pan out, I can cook direct heat. I don't know. It's a toss-up between Bessie and the steel drum smokers. John, man, John says the first brisket he ever smoked was on his extra large egg, 15-pound full packer. It came out great. He tells me to give it a try. I don't know, man. Moral victories. Yeah, Lou, you're right. Yes, I do cater all year long. I cater. People call, I cater. Rich, man. Thanks. And Rich, I drive a diesel, so it's fuel economy. Rich, man, I like, seriously, I appreciate that, dude. I like, no BS, man. Thank you. All right. Oh man, I wish. So I saw someone, and this is a joke, off topic, and a little crass, but I saw someone earlier. They took their dog to the vet, right? And the person said that they stuck, they gave the dog a rectal thermometer, and so I was like, this is on Instagram. So I replied to the story and I said, do you know the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer? And the person just replied, no. Does anybody know what the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer is? All right. Let me try to catch up on the comments. No, Ricky, I've never done. So I don't mess with parchment paper. Aside from baking and putting it on a baking sheet. Try to drill attachment shredder. No, I haven't. I have actually thought about it though, but I haven't. I've just gotten to the point where I won't. Hopefully I can get it fixed, Rich, and it won't be an issue. Alright, so Bomi Hunter 74. I do wrap my briskets, and I do it in a foil pan just so I can capture the au jus. Jim, have a great evening, sir. Thank you very much. Man, I don't know, man. I just, the way that I like to cook my briskets, and this just might be a preference thing, again, because I have a smoker and I don't have to use the big green egg for smoking. And for lower, slower temperature stuff, I prefer to use a smoker. That's just me. Oh, man. Smoking Joe says he can set up an account for me to get a discount on the parts I need. I don't know. I have other things that are priority, honestly. So I was Kirk, yes. The taste. That's the difference between an oral and a rectal thermometer. The taste. Ricky, you know what? There's been a couple of you guys that have been asking me about paper. I need to get some butcher's paper and try it out. Oh man, I just never done it. This answer seems to be plain. It might be easy to catch the brisket than right. Done this also. I don't even think it's about doneness. Like, I usually put thermometers in and around a couple of briskets when I'm smoking them, so I get the temperature I want, and then I get the feel that I want. The temperature is a guide to getting the correct feel. Nope. John, I hear you. I'll see what I can do. I am caught up on the comments, so yes. All right, Preston. Preston, how you doing, man? Dude, there's a pound for you, man. Just cuz. Hey, there are 54 of you guys on this live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up for me. I greatly appreciate it. So wait, Preston, what are you cleaning up the kitchen from? Did you cook something great? Did your wife, kids cook something? You know, talk to me. Kind of bummed actually. Tonight is usually like H2O prep, cleaning the hell out of my car. And I'm not able to do it because it's raining. And I cleaned up in the garage. I put smokers away. I have room to take my car into the garage to detail it. But the bottom of my driveway is so muddy, I do not want to drive my car down there. I just don't want the mud caked up in and around the wheel wells and other things like that. Kirk, you know what? I don't know. I really don't know about the butcher paper. So Dr. Ramirez says, look, we've never tried butcher paper, but we have tried your brisket. She says, and bruh, keep doing what you're doing. That ish is perfect. I appreciate that. John Grinnell, what other grills do you have? Yeah. So Peter B, I actually prefer a softer bark. I have sensitive teeth, so I don't want to break my teeth eating a brisket. Just like I like soft baked cookies, I definitely like softer bark. You do still get a bark. It is just edible as opposed to teeth breaking, and that's my personal preference. Uh, all right, Ricky, I will. I'll put it on the list of things to do. I use paper and love. The bark is still there, but the meat is still tender. Knowing you love. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't get the au jus, and that's the whole thing. Because I know that I'm serving this brisket or giving this brisket to other folks, I want as much au jus captured as possible. The only way to capture au jus is going to be to put it in foil. Yep. George Rushing said, if you need bear claws, stop making pulled anything. Just did a taste test on my channel, and the butcher paper brisket was just as juicy as foil. Yes, it might be just as juicy as foil, but you will not capture all of that au jus. You won't capture all of those juices. Butcher paper is cheaper than foil. Man, you might be right. Bowmy Hunter, you know what? I don't vent the pans when I put them in pans there. I just leave it all closed up tightly, and it's fine. Dustin, I don't make my own barbecue sauce, and the reason being is because I know there are a lot of people that have, I won't say food allergies, but there are a lot of people who, and let me take a step back. I used to do something where I would make a sauce, or I would doctor a sauce up, and then when I would get the question, well, what's in it, I stopped trying to tell people, because if I'm making a sauce and I'm trying to put stuff in it that I don't want everybody to know, then I don't want to have to tell you. So if I buy something off the shelf and I doctor that up, or it is the way that it is, I can say, oh, it's this, and people know what it is, and they stop asking questions. Sometimes there are things that I do that speed up my process more than there are to do things right. Like, there's some people that say, oh, you don't make your own barbecue sauce, you're a hack. How am I a hack? Because I'm using something off of the shelf that, one, saves me time. It costs me a little bit of money, but that money I spend is going to save me time, and time is money, right? And if someone has a food allergy or needs to know exactly what's in it because they have like a dietary restriction, I can let them know, and they can know instantly whether they can eat the food or not eat the food. To me, it's not worth it. That hemming and hawing about, oh, this, because then you get people that are like, well, what does it taste like? Well, does it taste like this? Does it taste like that? I don't feel like those questions. So, hey, T Crunk, if I'm ever in Nashville, I will try to get the word out, and definitely we will break bread and drink. Cheers, man. Go Eagles. Bowmy Hunting, you're absolutely right. Catering is different from backyard, as backyard is different from competition. Kirk, hopefully you're still here. Kirk hit me up. Kirk Atkins hit me up last night, and he wants me to do a competition with him. And I'm telling him, I'm like, man, I'm not into competitions. I got myself into a competition, and I did it, and I tried it, and I didn't like that feeling because we finished dead ass last. I really bear claws for picking hot meat. Yep. So George Rushing, I actually agree. The only reason I would actually use those bear claws is for picking up hot meat. That's about it. Preston, I like the fact that it's steamed out. Again, I don't like the hard, I don't like the hard bark. The bark is going to form, and it's up to you whether or not you want. I just don't like that whole dried out extra bit. I want 100% of my brisket to be edible. That's all. All right, I know. Let's see. So that's basically why I no longer make my own sauce. So Bummy Hunter says after he gets done cooking in the pan, he'll vent it off for 30 minutes, then wrap it up, foil for butcher paper, and throw it to the auto sham. Auto sham. That's what I was looking for earlier. The place where I was had auto sham. Preston, all right. I'm telling you, Dr. Ramirez. I'm telling you. I saw somebody that I say I respected, and you know, he was talking about how he made his own sauce, and if you don't make your own sauce, you can't call yourself a real barbecuer. And you know, you guys know how I feel about the term pitmaster, right? I've talked about it in the past where I will never put that term pitmaster on myself, just the same way as I will never claim to be or talk about myself as a chef, because I have not gone to culinary school. I'm just a guy who likes to light fires. But this guy, I mean, he was talking about how if you don't make your own sauce, you know, you're not a true, you know, barbecue connoisseur or whatever. So Lou, you know, I agree. Tighten up. Yeah, right. Teeth front. Hey, Eric Thomas, how are you doing? Yep. Oh man, I'm good. Christopher Murray, how you doing? Hey, okay. Alright. Raucher Onkel? I'm sorry, I know that probably is completely wrong. He says, greetings from Germany. I have big new... I'm going to be going to Germany. I'm going to be going to Germany mid-October. Well, actually, late October. So, like, I might need you to actually hit me up on Instagram because I need some things to do. Like, my wife's company is sending her to Germany, and it was one of those things where she's like, you should come with me. And I'm like, yeah, right. And she's like, no, really, you should come with me. So I'm going to be going to Germany in about a month. Yes. And literally, almost about a month. So I need some stuff to do. Like, some stuff to try. I wish I could... Oh, Schellendorf. I think that's where we're going to be going. Sellendorf. Yeah. Anyway. Christopher Murray, how you doing? So, Preston... That is what I told the lady I was going to do the next time I use the Cambros. Have I done it yet? No. I have put warm water inside of a Cambro. The only problem with that is it puts moisture into the Cambro. And I don't want that necessarily dripping on the back seat of my car. Preston, man, I like it. I like it soft, man. Give me soft baked cookies or nothing. Alright. Sucklebusters. Bowman Hunter, are you in Australia by any way? Ooh, John Knapp says he needs advice. A Weber Summit Charcoal or a Commando Big Joe? I think the Big Joe. I really like the ceramic. Tomorrow. I am getting up in the morning. I gotta take the kids to school in the morning, and then we go to Ocean City. Wrenching King, you gotta send me something, because after this happens, I don't necessarily see these comments ever again. Yeah, man, there is lots of heavy rain right now. Eric Thomas says, everything is everything. Alright, you sound like, what's his name? That dude on the radio. Michael Baisden. Super Johnny says, he loves the Germans. You gotta put like a He loves the Germans. I have DeWalt tools because of my Volkswagen friends, oddly enough. Come to Dallas, man. I would love to. Yeah, only bad thing is we're only gonna be there for like 2 or 3 days. So, Christopher Murray, man, I'm a big fan of big fans of me. So, I appreciate that, man. Really. Getting ready to go to sleep for work in the morning. Ricky, you have a great evening. Nah, it should be a steam vent. Nah. Hey, well, Swig and Smoke, man, thanks for you know, a little bit too much TMI, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Beer tasting. Hey, John, you know, I wouldn't put it past you. I wouldn't put it past you. All right. Bowling Hunter says he's in Wisconsin. Dorfman. So, my whole, you know, obviously, Germany is a bucket list place for me because I am a big car guy. Volkswagen dude. So I would love to go to Wolfsburg. Only problem is where I'm going to be, where we are going to be in Schellendorf or something like that. It's like 4 hours by car away from Wolfsburg and the holy grail for car guys, the Nürburgring. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. So Kirk, I am actually going to be using a cooler tomorrow. Anybody want to take it? Well, I'm not even going to just say take a guess. I had 15 and a half pounds of chicken and 21 and a half pounds of pork, and this is going to be to sell. Which is what's crazy is I've already sold half of the chicken and I haven't even left my house. One of my supporters, followers on Instagram, he was like, "Yo, you got chicken? I'm on my way." His grandmother lives across the street from me, and he, once he found out who I was, and I'm like, "Yo, I know that guy." He found me on Instagram. He was like, "Yo, I know you." So he hit me up like, "Yo, you gonna be home?" "Yep, I'm be home." "All right, I'm on my way." So he hit me up and he took a pound of chicken home. And then I had another guy from New York. Last year, we were standing in Tony Luke's parking lot, and I'm talking about, yeah, blah, 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 BS, and I'm like, "Yeah, I got food in the trunk, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Yo, you got food? What kind of food you got?" He's from Yonkers. So he's like, "Well, food? What kind of food you got?" "I have pulled pork and pulled chicken." "Word?" "Yep, I got pulled pork and pulled chicken." No, son, so what we have, how much is it?" I tell him how much it is. He's like, "Yo, I got $50. Fill me up." I'm like, "Word?" So I gave him a couple things of pork. He bought all the rest of the chicken that I had, and he's like, "Yo, next year we're gonna hit you up early so we can place an order." So today he hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I need 20 pounds or $20 worth of chicken and $20 worth of pork." Like, he's like, "Yo, that's my appetizer for when I get in tomorrow afternoon." He said, "Then we're going to talk again on Friday." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." Then I had somebody else. He was like, "Yeah, I want to get two things of chicken." He's like, "I've been following you since last year, H2O." He's like, "Man, I missed you last year. I want to get some food this year. I've been following you all year long." All right, cool. So a couple hours later, he's like, "Yo, my bad. I don't need 2. I need 10." I'm like, "Damn, that's like half my. I'm sold half of it already." Bayern Munchen. Alright, so Mr. Is it Unkel? Unkel? I gotta brush up on my German. John, I know. $100 for 25 pounds? What? Preston, we have tiger sauce in this area. Tiger sauce in this area is like something that folks put on pit beef. Eric, man, good luck. I tell you, I got my start on Instagram, and I spread through my friends. Funny, John. North Shore, Hammond. So I told you guys before that I have friends down in Baton Rouge, Red Stick. Man, you guys talking about tiger sauce. Logan Sport. Right? Yeah, DC, you know, Dr. Ramirez, please look it up and send me some information too. Mr. Ankel says he's a friendly German. That's what's up. Austin, yes. 'Tis I, Black Scott. I talked about it before, but I used to be on a web forum. It was called Rocket Man. It was a motorcycle web forum, and it was the guy's name is Joey, who was the creator administrator. About what, Christopher? Pick my brain. You have the floor. Ask a question. So there are 44 of you guys on the live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button for me. Sauce and steaks, but if you do in a blue room, it's alright. So Preston says he never puts sauce on a steak, but if he does on the blue, once in the blue room, it's tiger sauce. So now I definitely want to try this tiger sauce. It's great on everything. I thought that was Frank's. What's my favorite rub? I cannot. I can't say. I have a lot of favorites. They're just things that I like on different things. Yeah. Eric Thomas says, have I ever smoked turkey legs? He says down there they go for $10 a pop. So I had someone talk to me recently about turkey legs, and I've never smoked turkey legs to sell. I have smoked turkey legs for, you know, for my family. But Eric Angton, how you doing? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Whoa. Alright, well that's fine, Mr. Unkel. Unkel. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Please correct me if I'm saying it incorrectly. Uh-oh. Mr. Sean says he bought tiger sauce last week for the first time and it's fire. Preston, that's funny. He says, screw Frank's. John, stop telling people my secret. Please. We're using the red Kool-Aid tonight. Don't tell anybody else about the lemon lime or the lemon lime lemonade Kool-Aid, alright? Stop. Please. Thank you. Wrenching King, I disagree. I'm of the mindset, again, time is money. How much extra time do you spend and extra money do you spend by going out and buying separate ingredients and measuring it out, doing this, that, and the other? See, one of the differences between some of you guys and me is I cook so much. Like, I don't post all of the times that I cook. I don't. I don't do a video every time I cook. And with that being said, I don't necessarily have the time. Like, I'd rather spend the time and energy making sure the cook goes well than making sure I have the correct ratio of seasoning. I want to make sure that the seasoning, I want my seasoning to be consistent every time. Unfishes here. I'm getting turkey legs and, hey. So I've had mead, and I'm not a big fan of mead. There is a Baltimore mead company. Nah. Ash Boogie, how you doing, sir? I'm not Hollywood. Rib candy. I don't like sweet ribs. See, this is another thing, man. Like, I like savory barbecue. I don't like sweet barbecue. Okay. Mm. Preston, Preston says he has every product Cosmo has. You know what, Bummy Hunter? I agree. I like, you know what got me and this was before I started doing barbecue for myself. I was watching like uh Pitmasters, or like barbecue cook off, or something along those lines, and it was old crotchety dude, and he's like, make my own rub. What the hell am I make my own rub for? He's like, these companies spend millions of dollars doing R&D. He said, that'll work. I'm using on my ribs. That's less time I got to spend trying to make something up. I completely agree. Like, I don't know what it is, but that resonated with me long ago. Like, before I started cooking meat. Uh, Eric Thomas says, so I cook full time. I can only cook on the weekends. And how do you think I'll do? Eric, you know what? What's gonna happen is this. It's gonna start off slow, and you're gonna be like, why am I doing this? And you're gonna be like, then you're going to get to the point where, or I hope you'll get to the point where you're saying to yourself, I need more hours of the day. I need more time. I don't have enough time. And then you're going to weigh the option of doing barbecue full time and then just keeping doing it on the weekend. It's a process. It's definitely a process. You can make some good money. Like the the pork and the chicken that I am going to be selling down in Ocean City, Maryland this weekend. It's more than enough to cover my portion of the house rental, and it'll cover for anything else I do this weekend. And I'll probably have a little bit of profit where I'll be able to buy something or throw some money at a credit card or something like that. Um, Kirk says, "Pat that first horn, you won't even taste the meat anymore." Mr. Sean says, you ever own any entry-level offset smokers? I have not. My first smoker was actually the, like, real smoker. Was a vertical charbroil bullet smoker, which is it has a diverter, like a water pan in the bottom. So when I made the 55-gallon drums, I made them similar to how that that bullet smoker was, and it's a diverter plate. The first offset smoker I have is actually Priscilla, and I have yet to set a fire in Priscilla. Raul Flores says Cosmos seasonings or rubs is way better than Killer Hogs. He asked if anybody agrees. Yep, it was Johnny Trigg, super Johnny, guy. Uh, yep, Johnny Trigg. That was the old guy, old crotchety dude, man. I'm telling you, and that was before I got into doing barbecue. And I like it just resonated. Like he was like, hell no, I ain't using that. He's like, I ain't making I ain't rub. I'm using what they spend millions of dollars in R&D. Like, I wish I could find the clip of him saying that. But dude, that old crotchety dude, Johnny, are you Johnny Trigg? Mm. Yo, Pit and Q says all barbecue should be savory. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Like, pound. I like Cosmo seasoning pretty good. The hot dirty bird is fire. Only problem I have, Preston, with Cosmo's Q's seasoning is they're a little too sweet. No problem, Eric. Yeah, but oh, you're funny. Johnny's know how to barbecue. Mm-hmm. Ash Boogie says for butts he uses World Championship rub from Chris Lilly. Okay. Okay, Smoking Joe's Barbecue asks a very poignant question. He said, have you ever used an electric knife? I used to swear by an electric knife. And full disclosure, I found, or this is way back when, I bought an electric knife from Woot. Woot.com. WOOT.com. I am a geek, so I know about like geek sites. And what Woot does is Woot used to be an independent company, and they would sell one thing on sale until it sold out. I just so happened to go on Woot.com one day, and they were selling this knife. It was an electric knife, and I got it for like $5. And I used to use the hell out of that electric knife to cut up brisket until I broke it. I had a brisket that was cold, and the knife didn't like it. Like, I killed that knife, and I said, oh, hell no. So I was afraid to actually use a knife and slice briskets by hand. So I went out and bought a second knife, just like the first one. Like the same exact model, and I used it again. Now, mind you, I used that first knife for probably about 6 months to a year. Actually, it was probably more than that, because I used to cook briskets so infrequently. Then when I broke it was when I started cooking briskets a little more frequently. And I broke the knife. So I replaced it, broke that knife, the second knife subsequently in less than 6 months. And I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. So then that's when I pretty much manned up and I started manually slicing. So have I used an electric knife? Yes. Do I recommend an electric knife? Not necessarily. Hey, Mr. Sean, have a good evening. Alright. I use a knife from the Restaurant Depot. I use a serrated knife to separate my brisket points from the flat. And then I use a... Man, I feel like you don't want me to flash you. Show me a knife. You didn't even throw $1 at me first, or like throw me some beads. All right, I'll get up in a second. Austin, Austin says, since the topic is on traveling with food shipping, he said to put us out to order brisket for a competition this weekend. And his mom had to get it and put it in the fridge since he's at college. There's nothing wrong with that. Unlock, yeah. Austin, she scared you and told you that it wasn't there for a good 20 minutes. What do you mean it wasn't there? It wasn't in the refrigerator? I mean, it's just like anything else. You know, I don't get upset when people talk like, oh, it wasn't there for, hold on. Oh, she said it didn't get shipped. Now that will be a problem. What do you mean the brisket never came in? The competition is this weekend. There's no time for me to... Yeah, I could understand why you would have gotten a little bit annoyed. Hey, Rob, you have a great evening. Alright, so give me a second. I'll go get the knives. And actually, no, I'm not going to go get the knives. So I am going to refer you, Smoking Joe's Barbecue Pit, Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue. I did a, there's a playlist. The playlist has the barbecue tools. In the barbecue tools video playlist, I did a whole video talking about knives. And it's just because I don't want to get up right now. Silver Stag makes great knives, pricey but freaking great. See, Preston, I am balling on a budget. So I'm balling on a budget, and you know, I get things when I can or as I can. So Dexter knives are pretty good. I actually use a knife from the Restaurant Depot that is not a Dexter knife, but apparently it is made for and by the same company that makes Dexter knives. At least that was what I was told by the young lady. All right, Joe, you got me. Well played, sir. All right. Are you brown chicken wow wow, brown chicken wow wow. All right. So these are lasting cut, and I apologize because they're backwards. Yeah, he gave me $2, so I'm gonna show him both of them. All right. So I'm trying to get it to, and I apologize because it's backwards. I mean, he put money in the kitty. At least I can do is go ahead and help him out. All right. So this one, it says XR50CHMOV15, and this one, well, actually that one says the same thing, doesn't it? Oh, but they have different item numbers, I guess. So the serrated is 32761, and the straight slicing knife is 32758. So these are both 12-inch slicing knives. This one is serrated, and this is a straight edge. So when I do my briskets, I use this one to separate the serrated, to separate the point from the flat. When I'm slicing the point, I use the straight. When I'm slicing the flat, I use the straight. When I'm slicing the point, I use the serrated. Yep, Restaurant Depot knives. They were like 15 bucks each. Preston, so funny. Yeah, buddy. Preston, I do have a pair. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. Alright. Just imagine what I'd have showed him had he thrown $5 at me. Nope. The serrated, it to me, the serrated cuts, you see the cut marks. The straight knife, you do not see the cut marks. It is the exact opposite of what you're thinking. No problem, man. Thank you. Preston, sorry. So Austin, and I wanna point this out. The serrated does a better job of cutting the point than it does cutting the flat. The serrated, when cutting the flat, is going to leave knife marks, and you'll be able to see every stroke. You'll see those saw marks in the brisket. Whereas in the point, because it's so fatty, they get lost in the fat. Rather cut it really. I'm not sure. Ooh. Since we're talking about knives. All right, so let's talk about these. So I had somebody hit me up in my email, and they're like, "Hey, would you do a review on some knives for us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." They said, "What we'll do is we'll send you the money to get the knives. You get the knives, and you just tell us what you think." Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. So I got these knives on Monday. Today is Wednesday, and I haven't gotten a chance to use them yet. But they're freaking sharp. Like shave hair off of my arm. Sharp. Okay? Yeah, I don't want to shave my face or anything, but they're sharp. So, I have not gotten a chance to use these yet. I used this one earlier today. I was getting that chicken chopped up, and I mean, these things are sharp. And this is a less expensive, I don't want to say cheap, but it is an inexpensive set that I was able to get on Amazon. Whoops. I was able to get on Amazon. It was less than 25 bucks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it might be a 7-piece set. If it's not 7, then it is actually 6-piece. But expect a review, formal, me using those knives to be coming soon. The kids are already to bed. It's gonna definitely take a lot more than 5 hours to get brisket seasoning out of me. I'm telling you, y'all want this beard gun? Y'all go ahead, get up $1,000. I'll do it. All right, so but knives. I'm getting to the point where I can understand the lure of more expensive knives, only because I use them a lot. And like, I got some boning knives, or I got a boning knife, and my wife and kids use it more than I do. Or I bought one, and then they use it so much, I was like, all right, I'll get another one, so that hopefully when I need to actually use a knife, someone doesn't have it dirty. So the only problem I see with these knives so far is the shallow handle. I have big hands, and you can't really. So let's see, I'm cutting on something on a flat surface or what have you. I can't like I'm gonna be hitting my knuckles before I chop whatever it is that's there. That's the only gripe I have with it. The blade isn't long enough, or the handle isn't angled enough for me to be able to actually, not bust my knuckles up. Ceramic knives, I have heard great things about ceramic knives. The way that I use my knives, I haven't had to purchase any ceramic, but again, I have heard some great things about ceramic knives. The knife I had, Smoking Joe, was a Cuisinart knife, and it lasted a good long while. Like I said, it's just, the electric knife versus cold brisket. The electric knife lost. Kirk, I'm not losing any fingers. Eric Thomas says, how do I pick my first reverse flow smoker? Buy the biggest thing you can afford. That's the best advice I can tell you. The same thing, anybody ride a motorcycle out there? That first bike, you're going to outgrow it. And that's the same thing. Your first smoker, you're going to outgrow it, most likely. Smoking Joe says he does competition, so you want to try to slice his brisket. So, between these two, the serrated and the straight edge, I use these in conjunction with each other, in combination, and I find that they are. I have a couple videos of me slicing brisket out there. Hey John, have a good evening. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate you hanging out with me. Really, I do. Bye. Good night, John Boy. I'm sure he's never heard that before. Yeah, there are a couple videos out there. Like one of them is how I slice brisket for, catering. Cutco. I don't have any Cutco knives, unfortunately. Eric, that's exactly it. Definitely recommend a straight, and these are 12-inch, and they are 12-inch meat slicing knives. If you have more questions about this one or these in particular, like I said, I do have a separate video. Look out there for the playlist, the barbecue tools playlist, and one of them talks about knives. Dr. Ramirez says she has 2 Cutco knives, a paring knife, and a chef's knife. And she says her and Torian love them. Torian, you still there? You got off. Apologize. Actually, kind of slept in this morning. Yo, these knives are freaking like wow. My son was cooking. Taste test number 1 was cooking. The Kool-Aid is actually gone. I poured it over the ice. There was a little teeny corner left. Ash Boogie says that the Cutco knives are top notch and they have a lifetime replacement warranty. That's pretty good to know. Super Johnny, this is what I have tonight. It is a basically an apple brandy. It's 100 proof apple brandy. And what got me was it was put into a barrel that was smoked oak barrel or something like that. Yep, wood smoke. So let's read the label. It says Fumis Pamela wood smoked apple spirit. This award-winning apple spirit is inspired by the unique process used to create traditional Waukegan agave spirits. Fermented in open wood vats on smoked apple pumice, Fumis Pumila is twice distilled through our custom copper pot still. The spirit is distilled to proof over many hours and never proofed down with water, making each batch a unique expression. Enjoy neat or creatively. Cheers and salud. So it is handwritten that this is 50% by alcohol, and it is 100 proof. I'm pretty sure that it just says 100 proof. I know 50% by volume is 100 proof. I like high proofs because then I can mix anything I want to with it. So that apple brandy basically has the same proof as the clear wood. That's why I had some of that tonight. I know it's backwards. I'm using the front forward-facing camera on my phone. I apologize. I can't use my laptop because of the program I have on it. It conflicts and it uses the webcam, so it won't allow me to use it. Cutco knives. Yeah, dude, definitely, Eric. I highly recommend. I started out by using just the serrated knife, the serrated slicer, And I used this one for probably 6 months to a year before I got the straight edge slicer. And I use them every time I cut brisket. Now I pull both of them out. You guys have seen me use this slicer, like when I did the video for Porter and York with the roast, the sirloin. I use this. I use it in almost any time I can slice meat. Like seriously, slicing meat. That's the knife. Definitely, that's the knife. All right, guys. So. Any other questions about shipping or anything like that? I know we kind of veered off topic as usual, you know, as expected. Start talking about knives. But anybody else have any questions about shipping or, you know, just traveling with barbecue or food in general? I just cannot get over the sharpness of these. And I'm a really big fan of the color black. So I like that these are like dark colored. This is dope to me. Oh, actually, I got this question earlier today. How can you get a membership to Restaurant Depot? You get a membership through Restaurant Depot by either having a business. So I showed them documentation of my LLC, or you can get a KCBS membership. And I kind of heard inklings or rumors that you might even be able to get a membership or a card to Restaurant Depot with a SCA membership. I can neither confirm nor deny, but that is a barbecue sanctioned organization. But I know for sure if you have a KCBS membership, you can get a Restaurant Depot membership. If you have a business account, you can. Excuse me. You can also get a membership or a card to Restaurant Depot. Kirk says he said he's got a $350 knife that he never used after he tried a ceramic. He said he's processed the whole deer and then sliced up I guess tomatoes afterward. He said it never dulls. Ash Boogie says this barbecue talk is always on topic. Yeah. Someone hit me up earlier today, matter of fact, and asked about membership to Restaurant Depot. And I told that person that I got my membership or my card to Restaurant Depot because I showed my business documentation. I have formed an LLC. So I have my articles of incorporation is what I showed them. But like I said, I know for sure you can show them a KCBS membership. And I really think you might actually be able to get in there with an SCA membership. I'm not 100% sure though. Yeah, Kirk, there isn't one over in that way. Actually, I'm trying to think. The closest one to you might be the one in Landover. Is it Landover Hills? No. Capitol Heights or going up to like Christiana, Wilmington. There's one in Delaware. Mm-hmm. No, Eric. No, you don't pre-cook anything. You cook slightly ahead of time, and then you warm things up prior to your events. Yeah, Dr. Ramirez, definitely. Like, there's so much stuff in the Restaurant Depot in the 2 years or 3 years that I've been going in the Restaurant Depot. There's so much stuff that I still don't know about because, yeah. Alright, so Lou Calamadas, he says, Question about Restaurant Depot. Have you ever found a prime brisket at Restaurant Depot? Some have it and some don't from his research. The one he goes to says they have it online, but then they don't. But he goes in there and you can't find it. So if that's the case, what you need to do is talk to the meat manager, because the meat manager in the store is going to determine what meats or what cuts they actually get. Excuse me, we've come to that portion of the live stream. The Restaurant Depot in Capitol Heights has tri-tip. The Restaurant Depot in Baltimore does not. And the reason is that one sells it and one doesn't. Because of that, the one that's closest to me, which is the one in Baltimore, does not sell it. But the one that's closest to my job, which is in Capitol Heights, does. And not that I can really afford it, but yeah. Oh, yo, Snake River Farms brisket. You know, take a second mortgage out on your house. Restaurant Depot is like walking into Christmas morning. It's amazing. I agree for certain things, Lou. Wow. Austin, I have not. Crowd cow. Eric, get your mind out the gutter. Crowd cow. He said, "Crow what?" Kirk, you're also in Salisbury, where there's a plant. I know there's a plant in Salisbury. There's a Purdue plant in Salisbury. I want to try smoking the Wagyu brisket too. I don't actually think I've seen prime briskets. I've seen choice, but not really prime. Kirk says there's 4 plants. Thank you. Yes, Austin, definitely. Caden, thank you, sir. I'm glad you saw it. They have choice or select at Restaurant Depot. Jack, how you doing this evening, sir? I've never actually been to Baton Rouge. I just know about it. Nice, Caden. Well, good luck, sir. Yes, I did. I knew it. I knew I was gonna get a copyright, not a strike, but yes. That last song was the one that did it because I let it play for so long, and I was quiet in the song. That's why. I don't know, Eric. That might take more than one brisket for one of his smokers. Shoot. He said it's this weekend, Dr. Ramirez. I thought I was a drunk one. How am I the only one paying attention, Dr. Ramirez? Doc, what's up? Not drunk, though. I'm just tired at this point. I got up this morning, cooked all morning, cooked all day. Picked up the kids, brought them home quickly. Went back out, took the boys to get haircuts. Oh, goodness. And then when I got home from the haircuts, I pulled the pork. No, Preston. I know the feeling. Oh. I'm about to take a break and go to bed. I'm about to go to sleep. I gotta get up in the morning and trying to finish cleaning my car out. I didn't get to wash it today. I wanted to wash it, clay it, compound, or cut compound and polish and buff it. It didn't happen. I wanted to take the wheels off of the car and clean the inside of the wheels out. That also didn't happen. Freaking rain, man. Ugh. Nah, I'm tired. I got up this morning at 4:30 and I've been working all day. Austin, well played. Well played. Alright, Richie's Barbecue, thank you very much, man. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate that, Rich. Man, I'm tired. I've been hustling all damn day. Yep. I'm gonna shave my head. That's about it. I'm not shaving my beard though. Nah, y'all didn't raise the. It's $12 today. I'm not. No, my wife would kill me if I put 3 alarms in my room. Izzy, man, how you doing? I'm definitely hustling. Anybody? Comment I if you've seen my Instagram. I've been on Instagram all damn day. Yep, shit, shower and shave. Kirk, you're absolutely correct. So Izzy has seen my Instagram today, man. Oh, anybody? You guys, somebody made a comment about the fire department coming to the house today. So Izzy seen it. Kirk seen my Instagram today. Dr. Ramirez has, as well as Preston. I've been going all day long. I'm tired. Man. Yeah, the fire truck. He commented fire trucks. Well played. Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, the fire department came out to the house this morning. Oh, Eric, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you checking in. Definitely. I had every intention on editing and filming a video for tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't. No, they did not buy anything this time, and that's because there was nothing ready. As well as the fact that everything that I had, I was pretty much taking with me to Ocean City. Friday? Yeah. You might be right. I don't know. I might just, wrap everything up, like the H2O prep video, into the video from Thursday, into the video that, I don't know. It depends. It depends. And this is what I talked about in the intro of that video. I'm like, hey, I would love to, but I spent a lot more time actually working and cooking today. Like, I did a lot of cleaning in my garage, shifting the smokers around and things like that. So, yeah. Hey, Preston, I'll catch you on the flip side, sir. Thank you very much for hanging out. I do appreciate you guys. Hey, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up before you head out. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, my gosh, Izzy. You have no idea. Editing videos takes a lot of time. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. All right, I think I'm going to call it a little early this evening. I apologize, but I need to get some rest. It is 11:42. Usually I like to let these go until excuse me, it's 10:42. I usually try to let these go until midnight. Excuse me, 11. Last week we went long because we were having a party. Those of you guys who missed the end of last week's video, y'all missed out. Like, we went for 3 hours last week, like more than 3 hours. We started talking about music. We talked about Eminem and MGK, and then I pulled out my laptop and we started I'm like, tell me a song that you want to hear, and I'm like, aside from country music, I'm pretty well versed. Roll, Lou. Lou, have a great evening, sir. Yeah. Dr. Ramirez, I am going to get some rest. Funny thing, I'm going to be getting up early in the morning. It's 10:42. I'm going to lay down. Hopefully I can get to sleep by 11. And I'm going to get up in the morning. I still got to clean out my car. But the way that this rain is setting up, oh gosh. I kind of have an OG track set up for the Ocean City ride. I usually, when I'm in the car, honestly enough with you guys, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I mean, I just kind of listen. I just listen. I learn some things while I'm, headed out or going to and from work, where I'll watch like news-y type stuff. So, but like the stuff I have to actually pay attention to, like if I'm trying to learn something, I'll watch those videos while I'm at work. Like I have dual monitors set up, so I have like a YouTube video playing on one monitor while I have my work going in the other, and then I can stop and look over. Oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. All right, and get back to what I need to do. So that's that. So I'm going to bid you guys adieu. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe if you need to do so. I will see you guys next time. Look for some live streams over this weekend. I'll probably be doing no problem, Larry. Kirk, that's what's up. Hey, thank you again, Larry. You have a great evening. And Kirk, I'll see you tomorrow, right? Kirk, we gonna link up tomorrow. All right, so have a good one. I'm out.